Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Azure and AI Show. Um, I'm due to have some speakers join me shortly, but I'm just going to do some stuff on Microsoft Learn today, just for people who are doing certifications, especially the new AI one. So I'm just going to share my screen and we'll go on to Microsoft Learn's website and I'll show you how to navigate around. I'm due to have some speakers join me shortly. One second now. Just getting things ready here. Okay, I have my screen shared. One, two. Right. So this is the Microsoft Learn's website. It's free for anyone to sign up. They give lots of badges and stuff like that as well. I'm just going to go just onto my profile just here, and you can actually see what they actually give you. So if you do courses, they log them, and you can see here I have level 13, and you can see the different badges that they give you here on the left hand side. And if you do full courses, then you get trophies like here, 46 of them. And they cover everything really, from the training over here on the left hand side. You can set up a plan. So if we go on to the training and we scroll down here, you can see some of the stuff that I was doing recently. Just a second there now. Just want to leave somebody in. How are you doing, Dan? Can you hear me there, Dan? So I can see Dan there, but I can't hear him. So here we're back on the Microsoft Learn site. So as I was saying, across the top there, you got training and labs. You can look down there. So if you're looking for, we're talking about AI training today. And you can see on the left-hand side there, you can actually pick whatever product you want. You can see they've got everything there: Copilot, Defender, Entra, Exchange, so on. But if you're an administrator then, or if you're an engineer, you can pick whichever one you want here. Or if you're a beginner, intermediate. So we'll just look at the beginner level, right? And we'll see what ones they're giving us there for AI. One second now, and we'll talk about Copilot, okay? Tick off Azure. Okay, so then when we refresh the page there, it gives us all these courses here, all about Microsoft Copilot. So if there was one particular one you wanted to do yourself, you could go up the top here and search, and we'll have a look for the AI fundamentals. That's the AI 900. And there you go. There's the only results for that one. 1 second now, we'll just see. Put in the dash there between it. It's not coming up, that one, for some reason. So we'll take out the 900 and we'll see what we get. Okay. So you can see now it's giving us an introduction to AI concept. And lots more there. So you can see some of the, if you've done some of them, then they'll come up as completed like I have there. And they've added some new ones for the AI now. They're all starting with, as far as I know, it is AB 900 is one of them. So we'll just have a quick look at that one. Okay, so it's describe business value of the Microsoft Power Platform Service. We'll just go in and have a look at that one. So you can see there is kind of described the Power Platform, the business value of the Power Platform. And they have it broke down into all little simple sections, you know what I mean? So you got the introduction, explore Microsoft Power Platform, describe the value of, so I won't go down through all of them anyways, but when you click into them, it'll give you the option, then, you know, you just read down through them, it'll tell you what it's about. And then you just get it tabbed into the next section here, and you carry on and complete the section. Some parts then they give you, there's the whole Microsoft Copilot framework there, Power Automate, Power Apps, Power Pages, and one on the right hand side there, Copilot Studio. That's one I'm going to be doing a talk on at Sarajevo next week. So that's the one for building all these AI agents. So I'm going to give a talk on how to teach with Copilot and Copilot Studio. So that's that one. I just want to show you kind of a breakdown of some of the certifications as well. So we'll just go back to the top here, topics. So artificial intelligence, AI Hub. So it's giving you kind of, if you want to learn about the Foundry, if you want to deploy your first hosted agent, you can go and click in here and take the AI agent for a beginner's course and gain introduction into AI and Azure. So as you can see there, it's starting with the introduction, drive AI transformation in your organization, give an introduction to generative AI. So all the new certifications are beginning with AB. Some of them are for business users, technical leaders. So we can just click into the next tab there. So they've also got these things here where you want to, if you want to do these other courses, they're kind of badges. You can see there on the right, you get those badges, like they're digital badges. You can use them in your LinkedIn profile, or you can have them on Credly. Let me see there now. Just go back to the documentation there, and I just want to try and find some of the certifications. So there's new certifications. I just want to try and find them. Okay, so we'll just try this one here. We'll see what we got. We got somebody joining us. How you doing, Dan?
Good, Frank. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear you now?
Yeah, I can. I don't know what was going on with my other laptop, but this one seems fine.
Yeah, my speakers never turned up today for some reason.
Okay.
I know one woman there, she was traveling from Scotland, so she had to get the train today because the flights are all kind of messed up, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of cancellations, so people are kind of struggling to get around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did have something if you want.
Yeah.
If we have time.
Sure. I was just going through trying to find some of those new certifications that Microsoft has out. So if you want to go ahead there, and I see, can I pull them up?
Yeah, let me see if I can get my
share your screen.
Yeah, I just got to get logged in here to GitHub. See if that's all working for me. I changed my password today, and of course,
oh yeah,
I've got to remember what I changed it to.
We've got Terry there on the outside. How you doing, Terry?
Get this right here. Of course, it's giving me some headaches. Let me get one other thing here. Set up, and I think I should be in. There we go. Grab this. Make sure I can paste it. There we go. Okay, please try again in a while.
That's usually when they're doing something live, yeah.
Yeah, it's GitHub doesn't like me trying to hack into my account from
a different computer.
Yeah. It's better now. Hey, I think it's gonna work. We'll see. Yeah, I failed logon attempts, so it's not working right now, but we'll see if it starts behaving. Let me just share my screen and see if we can get something going here. Let me know if you can see my
not yet.
Not yet. Okay, did it not share? Oh, hold on. Entire screen. There we go. Frank, let me know if that works. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, we can see that now.
Well, as soon as I'm able to get in to my GitHub, I could show some things I was playing around with today. Let's see if it's been long enough. Let me in. Come on, you can do it. Have you played around with GitHub's code spaces yet?
No.
Okay, so On my other computer that's not behaving correctly today, I had a chance to play around with GitHub code spaces. And the main reason that I discovered or started playing around with GitHub's code spaces is because I discovered the Visual Studio web edition, and that one of the things that I would want to do with vscode.web or vscode.dev, can't remember the URL, is to actually use this for code that I might write at the terminal level. So I discovered vscode.dev and was interested in looking at some of the terminal things because I'm proposing a terminal session for the Microsoft reactors. And so I found, where was it? Was it up here? Terminal and new terminal. And then you get a message that says terminals are not available in the web editor. And I believe if I install Zoomit here or get Zoomit loaded in from Mark Rusinovich, Zoomit 10 is out now. I can run this live. It's also part of Power Toys, which I haven't played around with in what feels like forever. Let's see if it loaded into memory here. That download should put it right into memory, but it looks like I have to double click on it to get it running. And then what I can do with this is do like live zoom with Control F4, and I can draw on my screen with Control 2. There's a bunch of different control keys that I get, and Zoom in 11 has potentially some other new features that I may want to play around with. So if I hit Control 4, I can zoom in to show you that message about you're welcome to play around with terminal or command lines, but you have to be running in an environment that can run code like CodeSpace or VS Code Desktop. So if I install Visual Studio Code Desktop, I would be fine. But with the VS Code in the browser, I can write code and I can play around with different pieces of code, but I can't use the terminal application. And so from a terminal perspective, on Windows 11, you have the terminal application. And the terminal application allows me to run command prompts, Windows PowerShells, and the third thing is Azure Cloud Shell. So a cloud command line interface to my Azure subscription so that I can manage on the cloud. But what I really wanted to do was get to a point where I could write some code in my browser and not have to run VS Code Studio or VS Code on my desktop. So we'll see if it's been long enough and if the demo gods and whatever they were paying attention to on my sign-ins has settled down. So I can get logged into my GitHub account. Hopefully that's a good sign. Nope, it's still upset about the IP address and the combination. But essentially what I was able to do from GitHub was run code spaces. And then from code spaces, because it's a virtual machine behind it, I can actually leverage the terminal application from within VS Code. I don't even recall if I have VS Code installed on this system. It doesn't look like I do. But another option to get to the command line download would be to download Visual Studio Code. And then this, because it's running on my full workstation, would have the ability to leverage the terminal environment. And then from terminal, I can do things like get to my directories and create batch files and play around with all sorts of older types of scripting languages and features within Microsoft's tools. So if I install this here, and then VS Code was one of the first Visual Studio tools that was 64-bit. I was shocked how long it took Microsoft to come out with a 64-bit version of the development apps. But when you think about it, until 64-bit is just the assumption across all platforms, having a development environment that was 32-bit benefited us from a standpoint of systems that were 32-bit or that many applications would emulate 32-bit. So I can see where that might have been beneficial for much longer than I assumed Visual Studio was a 32-bit app. Or in many cases, there are 32-bit and 64-bit applications like Office. Microsoft Office can be installed in either 32-bit or 64-bit versions.
Terry has a message there for us. It says passkeys do help a little with these sign-in issues.
I used one to get into my account. I reset my account on another computer, and then that computer, Frank, when I joined you, I looked on my phone and it looked like I was in the meeting okay, but I don't even know if you could hear me. I could not hear you, and the video was just dragging. So it was super laggy. So I know I've gotten back into my account. I've reset the password with a passkey, but then from this computer, which is a different computer, it's all upset about, why I'm trying to get in from this computer and not the one that I just got working. So I can either continue with GitHub here, and I'm thinking the same thing's going to happen where it's going to get really upset about the fact that I've been trying to log in so many different times, but we'll see if any of that's better now. Can continue without signing in just to get this up and running. Then I can either open folders with this, install different apps, or under one of these menus. It's been a while. There we go. Terminal is Control+ and the tilde. Looks like the GitHub authentication is still deciding if it's going to work for me. So we can cancel that. We could try device code. Just going to go ahead and cancel all that. And then here's what a terminal can do for me. So I'm running PowerShell. So if I ask it to run command, or sorry, CMD, let's see if this works in here. It does. So CMD, what is it? Is it WinVer? Yep, WinVer can bring up my Windows version from a command prompt. And I believe that same command, if you run from PowerShell, may work, but certain things from PowerShell like dir work by calling an alias to ls or listing files in a directory. So if you're familiar with CMD, the command prompt, maybe it's ver. Yeah, it's ver to get the version of the command prompt. And then if I go back out to PowerShell, PowerShell doesn't understand VER. So there are certain things that I learned growing up from a standpoint of DOS, the disk operating system, and the command prompt within Windows NT, and then Windows 95 and going forward, that don't work in PowerShell because those commands are either not implemented or there isn't an alias to the equivalent in PowerShell. But one thing that I learned was that you can actually nest these different command interpreters or terminal applications within each other on Windows. So if I'm more comfortable with CMD and commands like start, which allow me to start Windows applications, change the title bars, wait for the application to close. There's a bunch of different things that I can do with the start command. So I could, for instance, start, and then I think it's wait, notepad. You'll notice that my command prompt is now waiting for me to do something in Notepad. And maybe what I want to do in Notepad is save a file with, let's say, a passcode for my GitHub. And so maybe I type in the passcode and the GitHub information, and then I want to save this to users dan.ray and call this passcode GitHub. And then when I close the Notepad window, what you'll notice is that I return to my command prompt in this case. And if I do a dir, I'll notice that I have the platform tools download for a zip, as well as that passcode github.txt file that we just created. So there would be ways with the start command and wait to allow you to either code something or call something from Windows, and then the output of that application, Notepad, a full application, a tool like Snagit, I could do something with that. And then once I return, maybe I can find the file or, create a directory, whatever I might want to do. And one of the other things that I learned, I don't know how long ago this was. Let's see if I can get my Snagit tool working here again. Or not Snagit, sorry, Zoom it. Getting my tools confused here. We want to do a draw here. So right down here, let's do a zoom. I can do a copy con to create a file. Let's see if we can make this font bigger too. There we go. So I watched a bunch of people yesterday for the Global Azure Day, and many of them did not zoom in on their screens. But one of the presenters did, and I thought, oh, that's cool. And it's Control Plus, looks like on your keyboard. So what copy con allows you to do is instead of running Notepad from a command prompt, I can actually write a file here. So if I wanted to write GitHub documentation for github.com/stilldre, and I can just hit enter to create this text file, and I could put in information about my WinFile project, which allows you to create a directory for a file that Windows 10 and below cannot delete. And then you hit Control Z, and that actually saves the file. So now if I look for text files in that directory, we'll notice that my dan.txt file is here, as well as my passcode github.txt file. One I wrote from the command line using copy space con, and then the other one I used the start/wait command to write in Notepad. So if my script was expecting to find dan.txt or another file that doesn't exist at the time that I actually run it, this is a way to write those files from the command line. I don't know if I have downloaded to this computer my GitHub script, but I'll download that real quick and show you that. Frank, how are you doing on...
Yeah, we're grand. We have Terry is online there, and he's got Terry Tempo.
Okay.
Do you know him?
I don't know if I know Terry offhand.
So he's saying, so you could call code on the PC, for example, a project that checks the code base of a solution. Would that be?
Yeah, I believe, yeah. Anything from a command line perspective, this would allow you to interact with. So GitHub has a number of command line interface capabilities. The command prompt itself that's built into Windows has a bunch of command line properties. There are things like batch files. So 8 years ago, I wrote this batch file for creating a file that Windows doesn't know how to delete. And so if I download this file to my local computer, this batch file, let's see if it downloaded. Looks like it's on its way to download, and it's saying, hey, are you sure you want to really download this and keep it? It looks like it could be potentially harmful. And I wrote it, so I know it's not harmful in the ways it's concerned about. Users, dan.ray/downloads. If I look for that bat file I just downloaded, demo file has a bunch of different things that are written to give you assistance with it. So there are ways to write demo file creates a file called lpt1 that cannot be deleted. So I could do demo file /create, or sorry, just create. I think it's case sensitive at this point, and it writes a file into the demo directory called lpt1exe. And if I look at that file, it's actually a copy of the command interpreter. So when I open lpt1exe, I get the command interpreter, I get a system error message because this isn't how it's designed to be run. But it gives you an idea of some of the things that a malicious player could potentially do with files that are reserved names. In Windows 11, I'm not sure if it's, Windows 11, it lets you delete those files. But in Windows 10, it would get very confused about those file names and would not allow me to delete those files. So that was one of the things that I learned in downloads. I think it's users first. Oh, I need a backslash here. So like anything programming or command line, it's very unforgiving if you do your commands wrong. So now if I do demo file virus, what that does is writes a file that Windows is going to pick up on because it uses a example virus signature that's used for testing security applications. So I can see that the eCar test file signature has been written into a file called LPT1, and then Windows and Microsoft Defender are smart enough to say, hey, this file is dangerous. Let's get rid of it. And so if I use this window, Control plus to make it bigger so you can hopefully see, navigate to our demo directory, do a dir, we can see the file is now gone. If we go back here and type demo file virus again, we can see that we have that malicious LPT1 file for a little while. We get the same message that, hey, we found another threat. This threat is active. My start actions would allow me to do things like quarantine and get rid of that file. And then the file will go away once it's been quarantined by the operating system. So a scan could go find this file, and then we can look at our protection history. I think that's where we're going to see that those threats were quarantined. And then there's the file gone from my system. So I am working on a presentation, Frank, for the garage. I believe I scheduled it for June because they wanted 6 weeks lead time to share that. But what I'm planning to do in that presentation is share some of these things that I've discovered about either the command prompt, Windows PowerShell, Microsoft server operating systems. Microsoft has a server operating system that has no GUI. It just has command prompts and command line interaction with it. And so those Windows Server Core editions, this is another applicable situation for it, because if you don't manage them remotely, the only interaction that you have with those server operating system is from the command line. I don't remember if I have any of those installed in Hyper-V. I may, because I used to do these demos as a trainer all the time. So if I look at the Hyper-Vs that I have running on my system, I've got a Windows Server 2016, it looks like, a Windows Server 2016 with a GUI, and a Windows Server 2022. On any of these virtual machines, I can go ahead and tell them to start on my computer. Come on, let's do a right click, start. My trackpad is giving me all sorts of problems with the clicking. So I think it's time to replace it. So if this is Server 2022 Server Core Edition, it'll boot up like a regular server would. But then when I log into the server, all I would get is a command prompt. And I believe it's a command prompt by default with like 15 different commands that you can type in. And then from there, let's see if I can remember my password that I set up on this system. Gonna type slower, see if I can remember it. What else could I have used here? This is why sometimes rebuilding a server is necessary, because when I do these demos, sometimes I remember what I used as my password and sometimes I forget it. Shut that one down, and let's see if we can build up another one here. If I can get logged into one of these, I'll be able to show you, hopefully, Server Core. Yep, it looks like this one might be server core because I'm getting a window here. So this is what server core looks like, Windows Server 2016. It says, hey, who are you and what's your password? And if I can guess my password correctly for what I set up way back when, we could get logged into this. What else might I have used? Yep, I can't remember that password either. But you get the idea. Like the first thing you need is password for the system, just like with GitHub, right? I'm having all the demo feelings here. But once I log into this, I would be just sitting at a command prompt. I wouldn't have like the server manager or the server tools that I'm used to in a Windows server. But then the other benefit to that is you don't have that bloat of the GUI on every server that you build, and you don't have that attack surface of a browser on your server or Windows 32-bit and 64-bit libraries. You have basically command line access to that server, and then remote access if it's set up for remote access in different services. So I'll probably come back with this, Frank, at some point once I get all the servers working and the passwords working and back into my GitHub account.
Very good, Dan. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Terry thought that got removed years ago.
Server core?
GUI window.
Yeah, the server I think still installs with the GUI by default, but okay. There was, so with server core, it was an addition that you could install. So you could choose when you build the server that I want server core, I want the full GUI. And then they had like a limited GUI for a while. I think that's what they got rid of.
Yeah, I know my camera went off there for some reason.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it looks like it's still.
Yeah, I'm on a laptop because we had a little power cut and my desktop power supply got.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for a power supply. I just 1 second. I'll just remove myself.
Yeah, I'm logged in as my my guest account, so I can stream out to a couple locations.
Okay.
Or I'd see if I can take over.
Wait, and I'll just see. Those see, can I share my screen anyway there, Dan? I just want to show those new AI courses.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is these are 4 of the new ones. It's the AB900. That's the Copilot and Agent Administration Fundamentals. And then there's the other one. Then the one for AI business professionals is the AB730. And the next one after that then is the AB731. That's the AI transformation leader. This is on my blog now. This one here, I got this. These pictures are AI generated as well. The picture thing is getting very good. So then the other one there, which is probably the toughest one of the lot of them, is the AB100. The Agentic AI Business Solutions Architect. So you need to know your stuff before you do that one.
Okay.
I have a kind of breakdown on them there.
Give me 1 sec, Frank. I gotta go grab my phone.
Sure. So there is the stuff about the AB 100. 1 second now, and I'll try and zoom in. Okay, so the AB 100 is advanced, is for experts. So who's the for solutions architects, senior technical leaders, AI systems designers. So this is the kind of flagship certification of the AB series. It's a validates your ability to design and deliver scalable, secure enterprise level. So this is on my blog if anybody wants to read any more about them. But the one for beginners is here is the AB 900 Copilot and Agent Administration Fundamentals. So who's it for? IT admins, operational professionals, and AI support roles. The classic fundamentals cert, the MS 900 are they're going to be retired. I think it's in June. The AI 900 as well. That's going to be so. If anybody is thinking of doing the AI 900, you want to get going because it's going to be retired in June. So that's that one. The AB 700 then is the AI business professional one. Who's it for? Business professionals, analysts, and consultants. So focuses more on technical and practical applications of AI for business workflows. Instead of building models, you learn how to spot opportunities, translate business problems into AI assisted solutions. So the other one then, right? So it's ideal for project managers, HR, marketing, and finance. That one. Then you have the other one. Number 4 is the AB 731, AI transformation leaders. So it's for senior managers, transformation leads, and executives. So the certification for it, like it's really for leaders. So then there's a little piece here. Microsoft AIB series represents a significant shift in how certification maps to the industry's needs. Instead of just focusing on cloud and developer roles, these credentials are business centric and AI driven. So that's kind of the ones that are around at the moment. So my screen didn't come back anyway at all then, but
I can see it still.
yeah.
You can't see it, right?
No,
Or
it's
you
just
can't
it's my camera is on this laptop. It must be after switching off. Are you logged in as the administrator? You are.
I am not in this window. Let me see if I can log in as another window here.
Oh.
If I log in as another window as the admin, I can get to the tools.
Yeah, I see Terry is talking there. Yeah, the old AI 900 is going away. Bye in June.
Let's see, again, do my Google account.
And we have a few people that joined us today.
That's awesome.
Comments. So we'll just put them up on the screen there. How you doing? And
see if we can get in my Google account here. I don't remember if I've used this profile or not on here. Looks like I might have, because it's getting... Google's gonna have me check my phone, and then should let me in. Yes. Let's see if we can get in the StreamYard here. Okay, there we go. That lets me into the studio.
Sorry, Teresa says you can see everything fine, but I can't see my screen. It's blank.
Yeah, let me come in with okay, yeah, now I've got admin rights, Frank, so I can... Do you want me to put your screen up, or just...
If I just remove myself there now.
Okay.
So if
I can remove you. Let's see here. Let's see. Private chat with Frank. I can bring you back, Frank, but I don't see your video. Edit mic settings. Doesn't look like I have any video control over your account.
Yeah. Wait a second now.
I've got the ability to control the stream now and stuff too, if you want me to.
Yeah, no, I'll just see if it's...
I got into my account.
Okay. Cool.
While you're troubleshooting, Frank, I can go ahead and share my screen and show that.
Sure, yeah.
Good stuff. We'll give Frank a little time to see if he can get things set up here, and I will show what I was trying to show earlier in GitHub. If I can find my GitHub window, here we go. So I'm logged into GitHub finally, and I just had to use a passkey to do so. So if I look for GitHub code spaces, what this allows me to do as a feature is fire up an environment that allows me to use a virtual machine as opposed to a full machine. So solid space orbit is my code space. It's going to set up my code space for me. And then my code space has terminal, which we just saw not working before. And it has the ability for me to use terminal. And it has the ability for me to use an agent, so I can speak to my environment to build applications. And then what I did with code spaces is I had it update my longtime birthday website that I used to have. And I just asked it to bring in 3 variables. I wanted to be able to wish somebody a happy birthday. I wanted to be able to greet them by name, so it looked like it was basically customized to that person. I decided it would be nice to know their gender, so I know whether to use him, her, he, she, which pronoun to use. And then I also asked for how many years I know the person. So if I've known the person their whole life, my son is going to turn 28, my daughter will turn 23. I could say, hey, I've known you for 23 years or 28 years this birthday. And then obviously I can use their name as part of what I greet them with. So I can take this website that was built as an example with code spaces, and I can run that locally. If we go into that demo directory and we create a file, let's do this from the command line. So we'll change directories and we'll go into the demo directory. Oh, this isn't on my local machine either. Codespaces is in the cloud, so I have to open a command prompt on my local machine to change to the demo directory. Then I can do a copycon defaults.html. Hit Control C or Control V, sorry, Control Z to save the file. And then I can tell it to start the default.html. That should come up in a browser. And if I bring it up in a browser, we'll see that it says happy birthday and that you need to provide a name, a gender, and how many years you've known the person. So if I put a question mark at the end and I type name equals Larry, and then I put an and gender equals male, and an and years equals 2, Larry gets a message that says, happy birthday, Larry. We've known Larry, or I've known, I could change the, the code. I've known Larry for 2 years, wishing him a joyful day full of love, laughter, and special memories. And then it reminds me that I put in male as Larry's gender. So if I wanted to share this greeting with Laura and I put in female, it says wishing her a joyful day full of love, laughter, and special memories, female. And then if I believe the logic was that if I don't provide male or female or gender at all, it just uses the word they, wishing them, they, them, because it doesn't know whether it's a male or female if you don't provide that. So it doesn't pick it up based on the name or anything. It picks it up based on the arguments or the variables that you provide in calling the web page. And so I've been thinking about updating this website for years, but I didn't have the logic to feed in these other variables besides the name. And I just asked Codespaces today to write this application for me. And Codespaces did a really good job of giving me all of the variables and the examples. So if I want to change wishing somebody a joyful day, or I want to say I am wishing, I just can edit this text for the message and put in some more personalization on the website. If I want to get rid of the male, there's gender trim and other information here, number of years they're trimming, and then it's showing the safe name, safe gender, safe years.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. You got it working anyway then.
I did, finally.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of time.
Yeah. I got the camera to come back on anyway.
Awesome. Cool.
Thought the laptop was starting to give me trouble before I got to Sarajevo. So.
When is that? That's in a little later this month, right?
No, next week.
Next week. Excellent.
Yeah, so I'm heading off tomorrow.
Nice.
So, yeah, that other lady we sponsored, She's on the train coming from Scotland,
Awesome. That's perfect.
heading to London. She got rerouted as well, her flight, I think.
Awesome. So you get a chance to meet her.
Yeah.
That's great.
And Amelia, a few others.
Awesome. Will this be your first time meeting her?
Yeah. So look, we've gone over the hour. I'll end the live stream. And I'll be back again next week anyway, back in time for the Saturday show. So
Excellent.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back again next Saturday for the Azure and AI Show.
Terry, thanks.
Thank you, Terry, and everyone else who joined.